Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire Aspirations team, I would like to welcome you to the 2020 Minnesota Aspirations in Computing Light the World Awards. My name is Shauna Hughes. I am the founder and ED of a nonprofit called Teen Tech Titans. I am responsible for overseeing the administration, programs, and the strategic plan of the organization itself. My other key duties include fundraising, so asking people for money, marketing and community outreach needed to sustain and grow the Teen Tech Titan brand worldwide. Our program will focus on the intersection that exists between business and technology. Our curriculum will be project-based with advancing knowledge and curriculum principles year over year. We offer two programs, our youth program known as Tiny Titans, and our teen program, of course, known as Teen Titans. Our curriculum is designed to address the unique challenges of each group. Now, I invite everyone to get engaged with this platform that we're using today. I know we're all upset that we're not in person, but let's take advantage of the opportunities that we do have. You can use the chat function on the lower screen to post your comments and questions. Also, feel free and please do use social media and post using the hashtag that's noted on the slides that you'll see on most of the presenters' backgrounds. This is a friendly reminder also to our honorees that you'll be gathering at the conclusion of the event for a picture holding your votive candles, okay? So don't just log off. I am so honored to take part, or just take a small part, in recognizing all of our honorees and our sponsors and acknowledging how they are lighting up our world. It is a wonderful sight to see, especially given the worldwide COVID-19 health crisis that we're going through right now. However, these young women and our sponsors are really what the world needs right now, because even in the darkest times, they're shining their lights bright. And that's what light the world really means to me. Even in the darkest of times, we find the strength and the courage to let our lights shine bright. We're grateful for tonight's attendees, including honorees, family members, educators, our generous sponsors, Aspiration Committee members, NCWIT representatives, and all of our special guests. So thank you for joining the celebration. Now, let's light this ceremony up with remarks from our keynote speaker, ERIN Mitchell. ERIN is a 2013 and 2014 Aspirations honoree. She has prepared some video remarks. Then she will be available for a live but brief Q&A after the video displays with the honorees. So please, honorees, while you're listening to the video, I need you to multitask and post your questions using the Q&A function at the bottoms of your screen. Include your full name in the question for ERIN so she's able to respond to you properly. And if she can't get to you tonight, she'll be able to follow up and respond with you personally. So ERIN Mitchell, up until her sophomore year at Lakeville North High School, ERIN had always wanted to be an author. Then she found that code could flow from her fingertips like words always had, and she was hooked. Her passion for problem solving, people, planes, and other things led her to a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering and an MBA from Iowa State University. and then on to a rotational program and a full-time role as an industrial engineer and new product introduction at Collins Aerospace. A constant learner, she has already started a second master's in system engineering with a focus in human systems from Johns Hopkins University. Her passion for people has led her back to the community. She was sparked into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math by role models and her support system, and she has the drive and obligation to be that light for someone else. Mentoring students through FIRST Robotics and other community programs, providing them not only with the safe environment to exist, but a place to thrive and start writing their own stories. So let's take a look at her video.
Hi everyone. First of all, congratulations to everyone being recognized here today. I am so excited to see all of you light up the world. My name is ERIN Mitchell, and today I just wanted to reflect on a couple things that being a senior in high school, I wish I had known. So thank you to the Minnesota Aspirations and Computing community for having me. Even if we can't meet in person, please reach out if I can be of use to you. Again, things I'd wish I had known as a junior or senior in high school. I'm gonna flip it a little bit. One of the things that's been asked of me a lot recently is, what advice do you have for high school seniors? And so I'm gonna start off by answering that and then go into three big topics I wish I had known or had believed in when I was in high school. So, advice for high school seniors. First of all, regardless of what you do next, enter the workforce, choose a trade, go on to a university, pay somebody else to do your taxes, or pay the $50 and use TurboTax. It will save you so much time and so much stress in the long run. Just do it. Second of all, I know graduation is probably virtual or canceled for a lot of you, and I'm so happy that we can still meet even virtually. Ignore the ceremony. The people and the memories you have are what make it fun. After this is all over and we're done with the stay-at-home orders, go take your fabulous self and your 4 fabulous best friends and go have a photo shoot in your cap and gown and keep those memories. Those are the important ones. My third point is, whatever you choose to do in life, know that you belong there and the path you chose is the right one. And that's my segue into 3 things I wish I had known when I was in high school. Point number 1, believe in yourself. My favorite quote is actually a Winnie the Pooh quote. It's, "They say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day." Thank you, Winnie the Pooh, for making me think maybe I could do the impossible. In 2004, at age 8, my parents told me, "Your cousin's gonna go build buildings. She's an engineer," as we went to her graduation ceremony from the University of Minnesota. She was the first engineer that I had ever met. In 2010, I had dreamed of being an author or a journalist, but my mom made me take an electricity class as a freshman in high school. I hated every minute of it, and I swore off engineering forever. Obviously, that didn't work out so well because I'm an engineer now, but at the time, I didn't think it was in the cards for me. That was the same year that I had joined the FIRST Robotics team. In 2013, I was a Minnesota Aspirations and Computing runner-up. I actually cried in my robotics coach's basement because I had submitted an application basically under duress from one of my teachers and thought I had no shot at winning. I joined the Aspirations and Computing Facebook community that year, which, if you haven't done that yet, go do that right now. It's a wonderful community of women from all age ranges and all fields of study dedicated to empowering each other. My first post as a junior in high school was my robotics team's Twitter handle. It got us a lot of followers, would recommend. In 2014, I was a Minnesota Aspirations in Computing state winner. I also cried that year because I thought it had been awarded to me because they just didn't have enough applicants. I know now that it was because I did really cool stuff, and you do really cool stuff, and you should believe that you deserve this award. In September of 2014, I had started school at Iowa State University. Cassidy Williams' song posted in the NCWIT Facebook group, "Where do you want to end up?" And I commented on there, "Rockwell Collins." I have a printout of their logo taped to my dorm room wall because I was a little bit of a nerd. At that point, I was studying materials engineering. Later that month, I actually almost switched out of engineering. It was really hard. Materials engineering was not my happy place. It just was not a good fit for me. I thought about marketing. That's a lot of what I did on my robotics team. I thought maybe business was the place I should go. In October 2014, instead of switching out of engineering, a friend had talked me into trying industrial engineering, combining people and engineering and making processes better. And I realized that that was the spot I should be in. And if I didn't have a community around me telling me that you should do this and you could be good at this, I don't think I would have believed in myself enough to stay in engineering. My second point, do what you love. 6 years later, after graduating from Iowa State, I'm an industrial engineer in new product introduction at Collins Aerospace, formerly Rockwell Collins, throw back to that Facebook comment from Cassidy. I live in Florida. I run a nonprofit magazine called Reinvented Magazine for Women in STEM. I mentor a robotics team. I'm starting my second master's in systems engineering with a focus in human factors from Johns Hopkins, and I'm traveling every weekend when we're not in quarantine around the country exploring new places. I love what I do every day, and I don't see myself in a different spot. Engineering is really hard. Computer science is hard. School is hard, but I love what I do, and I wouldn't change it for the world. As an industrial or a manufacturing engineer, my focus is on improving processes and helping people. This could be anything from crawling around on the floor, installing a vacuum system so my people don't have to worry about debris and dust getting into the product they're working on, to helping with the design and the manufacturing of the next commercial synthetic vision system, helping pilots combine what their visible eye can see, what cameras can see, and what sensors and other applications can see to help pilots navigate safely and successfully. Really, my job and most jobs in tech are asking what if. What problems can you find, and what problems can you come up with new ways to solve? How can you make them better or faster than they are today? That's what tech is, and that's what, if you're here today, probably something you love to do. Point number 3, I wish I had known when I was in high school. You belong in the space you're in, and you should take up that space. From Discovery's recent Despite the Odds literature review, researchers have demonstrated a connection between interest in STEM as early as middle school and the subsequent choice to major in STEM in college. Young women who choose engineering believe that being an engineer is who they are. Young women who persist in engineering report feeling as if they found a place where they belong. That's a big part of the reason I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Reinvented Magazine, a nonprofit who's dedicated to reinventing the face of STEM. We've created the nation's first print magazine for women in STEM to give women people to look at and say, I could be that person in 5 years. I could use that technology in my day-to-day life. We highlight role models that you and I may not see in our everyday lives. Someone was probably that spark of technology for you, right? A teacher or a mentor or a guardian or a friend. Maybe it was, you yourself and you, right? Someone who said, you could do this. You're good at this. You belong here. But a spark got started, a spark that turned into a passion for technology, a spark that led you to STEM and exploring and inspiring and growing, a spark that has you being recognized here today and challenged to light up the world with your talents and your passions. Now it's your turn. You have to take all of that and change the world with it. I'll leave you with a few closing comments that I wish, someone had told me over and over and over again. And sometimes I have to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, you can do this, right? But it's, don't be afraid to be aggressive. Aggression shows passion. This is something you should never try to filter or hide because you're afraid of what other people will think of you. You're not simply lucky to be here, like I thought back in 2013. You've worked incredibly hard to be here, and you deserve to be recognized. Don't diminish your successes, and strive for it always. But remember that failing is okay. That really hard test in school, that one project that you can't just get right on the side, that one thing that you're like, why isn't this working for me? Failing and falling will teach you more about yourself than immediate success will. You're strong, you're capable, you belong here. You're powerful, you're courageous. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You're part of the NCWIT community now, and I am so honored to have you. You belong here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ERIN. Now we're going to invite ERIN to take center stage to respond to some questions from our honorees. So ERIN, come up on stage.
Hey everybody, just want to say thank you again to the entire Minnesota community for having me today. It's such an honor to be here and to be able to share with you. So the first question we got was, can you point to a person who was your spark? And that's a really hard question to answer just because I feel like I had so many of them. But just one in particular was a professor I had as a freshman in college who just came in and just loved what she did every day. She had been a manufacturing engineer for like 20 years before coming back to teach. And you could just tell that she loved what she did and she loved teaching the next generation of STEM. And she believed in me at a point where that was that point where I thought I was gonna switch out of engineering entirely. And she looked at me and she said, you're good at math and you're good at engineering and you're good at problem solving. Why would you do that? So she really was kind of that big spark for me, but it's been a continuous point of people who I see who inspire me every day in my day-to-day life. So yeah. Next one I see is, do you have a network of women in your workspace? What are they like? So that's actually an interesting one. I've had a couple roles at Collins Aerospace, and up until this role, I've actually been the only female on my direct reporting team. But I've had a super successful, just supportive environment at my place of employment, which is fantastic. My team actually now is split right about half and half technical and non-technical, and we're about half and half male and female also, which is really exciting. Collins Aerospace does a really good job of supporting and empowering everyone to succeed. So I think I'm really lucky in that regard to be able to help build others up and know that they have my back. That's the most important thing I think you could find in a workplace, is everyone's ability to stick together and to be able to build each other up. The other piece of that is I actually am the chief financial officer of Reinvented Magazine, which is almost entirely women. It's like 70 volunteers who put together a quarterly magazine, focusing entirely on women who do really cool stuff, right? So being able to focus and highlight on recent tech news and know that everybody behind me in the whole organization is there to support each other as we put together this magazine, but also just build women up in general and provide them that role model. So that's really cool. What do you do in order to make hard decisions, like when you changed your engineering focus? So, honestly, like, I think it's kind of an expectation for everybody in higher education at some point to have a life crisis, or maybe like 7. I know I had several. And so the first point is, again, whatever you're feeling at that point in time is absolutely valid and okay. And if you just need to like have a good cry over some ice cream, do that first, get that out of your system, and then, you know, pull it back in and say, all right, what are my next steps? I'm a list person, so I do pros and cons a lot, and that really helps me just process a situation. And so I think that would be my advice of, you know, feel those emotions fully, and then once you've reached a turning point, like think through it a little bit more rationally, and then make your decision from there. I see a question from Sophie Bingham. I hope I said your last name right. Are there any challenges you face as a woman in STEM? So it's definitely interesting to be the only female on a team. My direct team, I haven't had any issues or any concerns with them. From the broader audience, it's a little bit different because it's very obvious when you walk into a room of engineers and you're the only one. And that has happened to me more times than I think I can count. So it's a little bit disconcerting at first. I know when I walked into one of my classes in college and there were 30 of us and there were 2 girls who were both named ERIN, I'm like, well, this is awesome. The TA is gonna know our names really well, really, really fast. It was a little bit disconcerting, right? Because I'm like, this has not been a situation I'm used to, so what's going on here? But then I realized, you know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't have to worry because I knew I was good at what I did. And I think that's something I wish I had found earlier, is just that confidence in myself to be like, I know I belong in this space, and feel like I could assert myself in the space I was in. What are some daily habits you have which contribute to your successes? So right now everything's kind of out of whack because quarantine is a thing, right? And I'm sure that's the same for everybody who's in the middle of AP testing, because I know that's going on and finals are coming up and everything's insane, right? Things I try to do every day are, I try to start off with a little bit of like meditation or just centering myself, you know, take that 5 minutes in the morning, and sometimes it's just, you know, get ready for the day, take a few deep breaths, and other times it's, like I said in the video, of standing in front of the mirror and saying, okay, you're gonna do this day, you're gonna get this day done. And so taking a little bit of me time at the beginning of the day, especially now that I'm working from home, and just switching over to my laptop, is really, really beneficial for me to be able to just start. Okay. And I think we're about out of time, so thank you everybody. It was so nice to speak to you today. And again, thank you to the community for having me. I'm so, so grateful to be able to speak to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ERIN, for being with us and letting your light shine so bright in the world today. And I have to say, you know, your Winnie the Pooh quote is amazing. You know, the sky's the limit. You can be anything you want to be. And I really appreciate you sharing that with the group today. So thank you. And now we honor 2 outstanding technology educators. In addition to identifying a pool of talented young women, the Aspiration in Computing Awards program also recognizes outstanding educators who play a pivotal role encouraging young women to explore and strengthen their computing and technology skills. Tonight, we recognize 2 educators, Amanda McRath, and I apologize, I know I'm saying that wrong. So Amanda, when you come online, please correct me. From Spectrum High School, and Elk River is honored as an educator honorable mention recipient. Amanda's been involved with the Aspirations program for many years, and she has contributed IT exploration curriculum for teachers to use across the state. She's highly dedicated to technology, and she's a teacher that is doing so many amazing things at Spectrum Middle School and high schools in Elk River. Go Sting! Congratulations, Angela. I'm sorry, Amanda. Wow. Next, we recognize our Minnesota Educator of the Year, John BARTUCZ from SeaTech High School in Rochester. John attended Princeton University to study computer science. He has worked in computational finance and earned his master's degree in computer science. After helping out his daughter's school, he decided to get into IT at Rochester's public schools and Winona State University. John set up the Rochester Area Youth Tech Foundation to provide refurbished laptops and internet to students without access to technology at home. He started Girls Who Code clubs at every middle school in Rochester, a Code Savvy, a Coder JoJo program at the Boys and Girls Club, the Rochester Computer Club, and the Queen City Computer Club for female LGBTQ and non-binary students. He lives in Rochester with his wife and 2 daughters and still has to fix his mom's computer when he goes home for Thanksgiving. Way to take care of your mom, John. And before John takes center stage, we are delighted to share videotape remarks from one of his students, Ashley Kohler, who was selected as an Aspirations Certificate of Distinction honoree. She'll be joining her honoree peers at the virtual event or the virtual award ceremony in late June, hosted by General Mills. So let's take a look at that clip.
Hi everybody, my name is Ashley Kohler and I'm a senior at John Marshall High School. I'm here today to introduce one of my favorite high school teachers, Mr. John BARTUCZ. I took 2 classes with him in the past few years, IT launch and IT infrastructure. In his classes, I was one of the few females, so we came up with a club for all female engineers for all high schools. He has pushed me to want to become a mechanical engineer for college. So now I present to you Mr. John BARTUCZ. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. So luckily I have my list right here. Bananas, strawberries, wrong list here on my desk. I was gonna start off with some quarantine humor, but they're all inside jokes. So I'm gonna get straight to the point. First of all, I'd like to thank Russell and the Minnesota IT Center of Excellence for tirelessly supporting and promoting students and educators throughout the year. Despite being at every event, every conference, constantly writing articles, promoting everyone's accomplishments, creating new curricula, and championing the idea that technology is for everyone, I've never actually seen Russell tired or in a bad mood. In fact, I think he may have created a robot clone of himself and retired to the North Shore already. I'd also like to thank every teacher, parent, volunteer who has started a computer club or been volunteered to teach a class. Even if it feels like you don't know what you're doing, all it takes is one spark and a girl is on her way. You may never find out about it, but most girls quietly become interested in tech because of one teacher or one mentor somewhere along the way. Thank you. Finally, I'd like to thank the National Center for Women in Information Technology and all of its partners and sponsors for creating these awards. To all the young women who are recipients of these awards, you may not realize the full importance of what they represent. Yes, they look good on your resume, and hopefully they'll help you get into your dream college or land your perfect job. But that is really just the tip of the iceberg. What you will realize over time is that the two most important aspects of these awards are representation and a network. I hope that you will take the time to look at some of the stories about the MNAiC alumna and where they are now, because you are those women. And not only that, you can stand on the shoulders of those women and reach even higher. The best part is that you don't have to do it alone. Most of the women in the history of technology have had to work alone, wondering if they are supposed to be there and having only their own courage to rely on. But look around you. All of these women want you to succeed. All of these women want to share your successes and your failures, because that is what makes us all stronger. Because here is where we get to the bad news, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Things are still pretty tough for women in tech. Despite more than half a century of women sending us to the moon, programming the first general purpose computers, creating the first compilers, designing the first mobile CPUs, and much, much more, the percentage of women in CS in most schools sits stubbornly around 15 to 20%. And in the profession, it's even lower. Women around the world report sexism and harassment in their jobs. From Gamergate to the Engineers Manifesto, women are constantly and forcefully told they still don't belong. And so while I am here to celebrate all of your wonderful achievements, I'm going to use my time for a pretty big request. I need you to light the world. And I don't mean you need to be a shining beacon of perfection. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You are bright enough just the way you are. What I'm asking is that you make a decision right now to take that light and shine it in dark places. Call out the injustices that you see and shine a light on them. Find the people with no platform and shine a light on them. I will tell you right now, it won't be easy. You will make mistakes. You will have people try to keep you quiet. You will wish you said something different at the time. But you will have said something. And that is a change in the world. Never, ever underestimate one small change in the world. So if you, yes, you, individually shine your light into some darkness, you give courage to all these women here tonight. And if you try and fail, still you'll find a whole group of women who will support you and pick you back up. Because that is why we are here tonight. Not just to pat ourselves on the backs, but to look around and see all the light that is ready to shine. All the women that are ready to show each other and the world how bright the future can really be.
Thank you so much, John. Amazing, amazing speech there. But you know, I'm gonna have to reach out to you and figure out what computational finance is. I mean, gosh, such amazing people that we have and that our students have that are available to them. I also really, really love the remarks about shining a light in the dark places and having the courage to speak up when needed. So thank you again, John. Now, I am so excited to recognize our 22 students selected as honorable mention recipients. Please join me in welcoming Devin Sayles, a data engineering manager at General Mills. She'll introduce these awardees and share some of their similar and unique characteristics.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I am going to take just a couple minutes before we dive into the national or the state honorable mention honorees to give you a quick overview of the application and selection process. So we have our application season in the fall, and each interested applicant for the Aspirations Award is asked to describe things in their application, such as what sparked their interest in computing, what makes their application unique, how they'd like to use computing or technology in their future career goals, and a problem they'd like to solve using technology. Many of our applicants also have an educator endorse part of their application, which is really huge in providing some extra insight into that student. So we really appreciate all the educators who have endorsed students along the way. Once all the applications are in, a large group of volunteers actually reviews the applications at the national level. And then after our national honorees are selected, the applications are passed down to the Minnesota Review Committee. So our Minnesota team reviews everything, looks for differentiation, and ranks the applications. So as we read some of the highlights of the bios of the honorees, you'll see that some of the things that help the honorees stand out are things like a demonstrated passion and interest for computing and technology, a meaningful experience related to creating technology or their achievements in computing, leadership experience in computing, efforts to pursue computing despite barriers to access, and post-secondary plans that relate to computing or technology in some way. So our review team also takes institutional, geographic, and ethnic diversity into consideration as we're ranking our applications. And then from that ranking, the different tiers of honorees are determined. So at this ceremony, we're going to be recognizing our national honorees, our state winners, and our state honorable mentions. And in addition to those tiers, we also select 2 other tiers called the Certificate of Distinction and the Rising Stars. And those 2 will be recognized at their own separate virtual events later next month. All right, so on to recognizing our honorees. We have or will very soon be sending everybody a PDF copy of our full event program, which contains all of the detailed bios for this year's honorees. So instead of reading those bios to you word for word, we've decided to take a little bit of a different approach this year with the virtual format. And so instead, I'm going to be sharing some facts and figures about the group as a whole, and then some kind of key themes that I took from reading their bios. So our state honorable mention honorees are a group of 22 students who have clearly demonstrated interest and aptitude for computing. This group is in the top 25% of students who are selected for Minnesota recognition. The group is comprised of 9 seniors, 8 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 1 freshman from rural, urban, and suburban schools. So as I was preparing for this, I had the honor of reading through every detail and every word of this group's bios and trying to pick out some key themes. And so here are some of the things that really struck me. This group of honorees is skilled at coding in lots of languages, but especially common ones that I saw were Python, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Quite a few of them are involved in FIRST robotics teams at their schools, and actually quite a few of them also mentioned playing computer-aided design roles on their teams, doing CAD work. We have lots of future leaders who are active in things like National Honor Society and Student Council, as well as DECA, Mock Trial, Girl Scouts, and Business Professionals of America. Another thing that was really interesting is that a lot of these honorees in this group have taken summer courses or attended technology summer camps to further their knowledge in computing. We have lots of talented mathematicians here who take advanced courses or participate in math team or other math challenges. In terms of their interest areas, several young women in this group have really special passion around the intersection of medicine and technology. And some other interest areas include environmental sustainability, data science and analysis, cybersecurity, and the social sciences. So kind of along that vein, some of the college majors of interest for this group of honorees are computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, data science, geoengineering, biomedical engineering, business, and cybersecurity. And finally, and this is something that's so close to my heart and inspiring for me to see, the vast majority of these young women are really passionate about doing STEM outreach with younger students. So whether that means tutoring in math or science, teaching tech skills, or otherwise just encouraging exploration of STEM and technology, we are so proud that they are already working to spark the next generation of STEM talent in Minnesota. And that's just so cool to see. So congrats, state honorable mentions. And I'm going to turn it back to Shauna, I think.
Thank you so much, Devin, for your involvement and your comments about the light shown by these amazing young women. What I would like to do now is introduce the audience to three-time Aspirations honoree, Afia, who is from Afia Ward, who is from Central High School in St. Paul, who will share her remarks with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Afia Ward. I'm a senior graduating from St. Paul Central High School. I want to say thank you first to the Aspirations and Computing program and all of the sponsors for this special award. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations to everyone being recognized tonight. I'm really excited to be here just to share a bit about my journey with STEM, which was inspired by my dad's work in youth development through STEM, and how it led me to becoming an agricultural business major at Florida A&M University. So about 5 years ago, through the work that my dad was involved in, I was introduced to hydroponics, which is simply the use of technology to grow plants in mediums other than soil. The more I learned about hydroponics, the more fascinated I became by the versatility of it. And as I explored the ways it was being used across the world, I began to learn about some of the inequities surrounding food, like food insecurity, and how hydroponics could be used to address these issues. This is how I was introduced to the term food justice. To me, food justice is about equitable access to healthy and affordable foods, as well as public knowledge and awareness regarding the processes that take place before we consume our food. To me, food justice is a worthy aspiration. So our food system in many ways is dominated by empty calories and fast food. That's one of the reasons that over 70% of adults in America are overweight, and almost 40% are considered obese. And obesity isn't a standalone issue. It's an underlying cause of many health complications and premature deaths. These negative results of our food systems are way more prevalent in low-income communities of color than anywhere else. And that fact can be traced back to the racialized roots of poverty, as well as the fact that the food system itself was built on centuries of exploitation of people of color. As we're seeing during this time, the pandemic is bringing to light a lot of these disparities in our food systems. We know that African Americans and other people of color are up to 77% more likely to get diabetes than white Americans. And diabetes is known to be a serious risk factor of complications of the coronavirus. But these disparities aren't new, they're just starting to make headlines. Throughout high school, I've been fortunate to have so many opportunities to have positive impacts on these issues and deepen my understanding of food justice. I was able to use hydroponic systems to grow food in St. Paul for youth and community members. I also volunteered with Bits to Bites, which was a group of young people in the Kitty Anderson Youth Science Center, focused on using technology to address these injustices. With Bits to Bites, I continued to study the issues in depth. I also had the opportunity to co-lead community events and present at conferences around the nation, educating communities about the inequalities as well as the work being done to address them. One of my favorite teachers ever taught my IB economy course in 11th grade, and he had this theme that he repeated a lot throughout the school year. In regards to our future careers, he would tell us to do what you're good at, not what you like. And I appreciated the statement because there is great value in doing what you're good at because it can lead you to where you can have the biggest impact. But in this work that I'm involved in, I found this intersection between what I'm good at and what I'm passionate about. And that's what's defining the impact that I want to have on the world. My decision to major in agricultural business came from my understanding of how systems work. The people who have the greatest impact on systems are the people who create the systems and define how they work. My skills in technology are helping me to solve problems in creative and innovative ways, and I want to encourage all of the young women listening tonight to find your intersection between what your skills are and what you're passionate about, and let that lead you to the impact that you want to have on the world. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations to everyone.
Thank you so much, Afia. What a wonderful presentation. Learned so much in just that short period of time from you, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more over the years, and thank you for your contributions to others and to our community and how you're really lighting the world. And many of the young women, I have to second Afia's and really prop her up and say that intersectionality is what makes you valuable and strong, and finding out what those are going to make you just shine brighter than anything that you can think of. Now, I'm super excited again to recognize the 19 state winners that we have to honor tonight. This is amazing for us. We definitely are excited to see where these young women will go and the amazing effect that they're going to have on our world. So please join me in welcoming Shelly Andrew, Business System Manager with the Minnesota Twins. Go Twins! And I'm missing all the sports right now, and I know everyone is as well. So having Shelly with us today hopefully gives us a little bit of what we're missing in the sports arena. She will introduce these awardees and then share some of their similar but unique characteristics.
Thanks, Shauna. I know we're all missing baseball, and eventually we will get back to playing ball on the field. In the meantime, we're here to honor these amazing women, so let's get on with it, right? So why am I here? The Twins are proud supporters of year-round Minnesota Aspirations in computing programs. We love to encourage and inspire our young people to tap into their STEM curiosity. We believe this opens up a lifetime of unlimited possibilities by fueling their inner creativity. And so it is my honor and privilege to introduce these incredibly inspiring young women who are our state winner honorees tonight. These 19, like Shauna said, 19 women have clearly and significantly demonstrated an interest and aptitude for computing. They comprise of the top 11% of the students selected this year. This group has 8 seniors, 9 juniors, and even 2 sophomores. They come from all backgrounds, rural, urban, and suburban schools. While, like Devin mentioned, we would love to read everyone's bios, it's just not possible tonight. So I invite you to read their entire bios when you get a chance from the program. So what makes these young women so accomplished? Most of them are enrolled in advanced placement classes, or even dual enrolled in high school and college. Can you imagine doing college classes in high school? These young women have been involved in so many different programs, robotics, technovation. Many of these are offered by our partners like High Tech Kids, First Tech Challenge, Code Savvy, Best Buy Teen Tech Centers, and so many others. They're also interested in so many emerging technologies: virtual reality, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data science, and drone technology. And in my personal opinion, most importantly, these women are paying it forward by inspiring future generations by their dedication as STEM advocates. They teach technology skills to female elementary and middle school students. They volunteer in their communities and are strongly engaged in addressing social issues. It is truly inspiring to witness how they light up the world. Congratulations to the 2020 state winner honorees.
Thank you so much, Shelley, for your involvement in the twins' involvement in this amazing program that is like supporting so many of our young, amazing women. Now, we are also proud that we have 10 Minnesota students who were selected as national honorees. Introducing these students will be Caitlin France. So Caitlin, let's go ahead and introduce those students. But before we do, the national honorees, we wish to recognize her for a collegiate level distinction. So Caitlin is a Minnesota Aspirations alumna, currently in her junior year at the University of Minnesota Duluth. She is majoring in German studies and biochemistry with a minor in biomedical engineering. She is the lone and definitely exceptional candidate from Minnesota chosen by the National Center for Women and Information Technology as a collegiate award finalist. This award is designed to honor the outstanding computing accomplishments of undergraduate and graduate women, recognizing technical contributions to projects that demonstrate a high level of innovation and potential impact. Please join me in congratulating Caitlin.
Hi, Shauna. Thank you so much for such a kind welcome. I just wanted to first go ahead and give a big thanks to Russell, who sent me this beautiful candle to help me light the way. Russell has been with me through all of my years as a part of MNAiC and NCWIT, and we could not do this without him. So a special and big thank you to him. I am also a change leader scholar, so I have gotten to be involved in NCWIT in a ton of new and exciting ways that, looking back, I didn't know they existed. And that's going to be my starting point for tonight, because now going into my senior year, I get asked a lot, where do you see yourself going? What does your future hold? And that's a scary question. So the question I like to reflect on is, where did you see yourself 5 years ago? And for me, I come from a town with more cows than people. So when I was young, the careers that I saw women going into were things like nursing and farming and, like my mom, teaching and education. And up until I was a sophomore in high school, that's what I thought I was going to do too. But then, as one of our other amazing speakers brought up, you can't underestimate the power of powerful mentorship. So Dr. Cynthia Welsh, when I was a sophomore in high school, believed in me and the project that I created. My sophomore year, I learned how to code by stealing a textbook from one of my upperclassmen friends and doing a lot of trial and an emphasis on the error in learning how to create a system of QR code-based medical bracelets. And thanks to the amazing help of Dr. Welsh, I started competing at national and international science fairs and truly found a love of science, coding, and technology. So a big thank you to her for being the first inspiration for me wanting to be a mentor and for all of the amazing stuff that I've done now. My other piece of advice to all of you seniors and especially you younger students, and the advice I wish I had gotten when I was in high school, be annoying. As ERIN said, this is your space and you deserve to be there. Go out, ask questions. I think I have personally emailed every single member of my school's mechanical engineering department in order to find people that I wanted to work with. You have to go out and try it, because in some cases, you will have amazing networks and connections like what I've received through NCWIT. But to get started, it can be scary and daunting. But my advice is to go out and try it and believe in yourself, because looking to where I am now, I cannot believe that all of that I have accomplished. And to emphasize again what ERIN said, join the Facebook page. I was a 2-time alumna in high school, and I didn't post until last month on our Facebook page. But now I'm running a team, and we are doing amazing biomedical engineering work even remotely. It's incredible what this amazing team of young women are able to accomplish. I'd like to close with 2 quotes. The first of them being the words of my high school science teacher and the other person who truly inspired me, and that would be Joe Ranger. When I was starting this project, I really wasn't sure, is this worthwhile? I've never done anything with technology before. And after watching a video about medical bracelets and seeing that they were $100 for 4 lines of text, I turned to him and I said, I think I can do better than that. And he said to me, if you think you can make the world a better place, why aren't you doing that right now? And so that's my advice to all of you, is to go out and make the world better. To close, I'd like to close with one of my newest and favorite quotes, and that is a quote by Paul Wellstone. We all do better when we all do better. So continue to support and network and work together as a team to support other women in tech, and together we are going to make the world an amazing place and continue to light the way. Thank you. And after all of that, I also get to be the one to announce tonight's amazing group of young high schoolers. These girls are doing the things that I wish I would have known about. They are comprised of 10 students, 3 sophomores, 4 juniors, 3 seniors, and these girls are the top 8% in the entire nation. That's incredible. I am so proud of them. They are comprised of 8 state winners this year and 2 previous winners. These girls are kicking butt and breaking down barriers in so many amazing tech spaces. They are taking AP computer science courses, PSEOing, and being leaders in their school and education. They're pursuing tech degrees, engineering, and computer science degrees, and they love volunteering and standing up for women and social impact causes. They deserve all of the applause for continuing their efforts, especially in the midst of this pandemic. And I am so proud to be the first one congratulating them tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caitlin, for your inspirational words and how you've essentially lit the path for so many others, and also, your tenacious attitude and really speaking up for others. And I also want to, again, thank our 10 honorees. That was amazing, the work that you're doing. Please keep it up and continue to shine bright. Now, a special feature of the Minnesota Aspirations program is the Summer Paid Internship Program. We now want to welcome Amy Patton, a VP of Technology at SPS Commerce. Amy is the chair of the Internship Subcommittee.
Thank you, Shauna. And congratulations to all the honorees that we heard about tonight. You are an amazing group of young women who truly light the world with your enthusiasm for technology. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Patton. I've been involved with the Aspirations program for 5 years, and SPS Commerce has participated in the internship and job shadow programs. I'm a passionate supporter of the Aspirations program, and most especially about the internship program. These internships provide great resume-worthy experience, as well as allow Minnesota companies to show all of you amazing young women why Minnesota is the place for you to spend your future technology careers, and we know they're going to be great. This past year, I had the honor of leading up an internship subcommittee with the goal of increasing the number of internship opportunities available to honorees. I'm joined in this subcommittee by Denise Morlock of Three Bridge, Shelley Andrew of Minnesota Twins, Beth McMillan of Land O'Lakes, Julie Urban with Veritas, and of course, the amazing Russell Frankel from the Minnesota State IT Center of Excellence. This subcommittee came together in late 2019 with a mission to encourage more companies to provide internships. And in January this year, we invited technology leaders from across the Twin Cities to a breakfast event at the Minnesota Twin Stadium. We had a panel of previous managers of internships, of interns, who were able to easily convey how amazing all of you Aspirations honorees truly are. They talked about the fact that Aspirations interns are not only technically advanced, but also have fantastic skills in communication and collaboration. This breakfast event was a resounding success. And in subsequent weeks, we had received commitments for 19 internships and doubled the number of companies making those commitments. This list included Best Buy, Help Systems, Land O'Lakes, DataSite, Minnesota Twins, Optum, Prime Therapeutic, SPS Commerce, Thomson Reuters, and Trimble. Now, as you know, the current pandemic has impacted businesses in many different ways. Financial impacts and the reality of many technology teams working from home has forced companies to change plans and reduce the number of internships available. We are delighted that Land O'Lakes, Optum, and SPS Commerce are able to provide 7 internships, 7 honorees with internships this summer. And we are grateful to those companies who are unable to continue with the internships this summer, but have indicated that they are excited to return in 2021. You can bet we'll be talking to them again. Congratulations to this year's Summer Internship Grand Prize recipients. And now, I would like to introduce you to Studi Aurora. Studi is a 2-time honoree and is here to tell you about her experience with the Aspirations Internship Program.
Thank you for that introduction, Amy. Hi everyone, my name is Studi Aurora and I'm a senior at Maple Grove Senior High School attending the University of Minnesota for a major in computer science and minor in mathematics. And I'm thrilled to be able to speak to you today about my internship experience at Land O'Lakes. Some of you might remember me from last year where I also had the opportunity to speak, so I'm excited to be here and to be able to recap my second summer as well. My first summer internship was a great experience. I developed countless technical strengths as well as communication and business skills. But my entire internship, I always felt that I was a little too young and had too little experience compared to those that I worked with. And as a result, I created this bubble around me where I'd only stay and work in my project team room and just talk to my fellow interns, mentors, and manager. As the rest of the summer and the school year went by, I realized that Land O'Lakes had provided so many other opportunities outside of my internship that I hadn't taken advantage of. So I decided to change that in my second internship at Land O'Lakes. And this is the summer where I really grew. I talked to people not only on my project team or in the IT department, but all throughout the company. From these conversations, informational interviews, and job shadows in marketing to customer service to security, I got to see firsthand how technology runs as a common thread across the company's ecosystem. This confidence even led me to a one-on-one meeting with the CEO of the company, Beth Ford, for which I have a treasured selfie to remember it by. And ultimately, I had the best summer, really engaging myself in not only my work, but the people and the experiences that Land O'Lakes had to offer. And so to this next group of interns and to all the award winners, we are in unprecedented times. I mean, who would have thought that we'd do this award ceremony virtually? But despite the circumstance and environment of COVID-19, don't focus on what you are missing out on, but feel energized by the new opportunities that this is offering you. This is making you more perceptive, more creative, and definitely more adaptive. So push your boundaries, leave your comfort zone, and really embrace what these experiences have to offer. I do want to take a moment to sincerely thank Land O'Lakes, Beth, Eileen, and Eric for being extraordinary mentors and managers and allowing me to build my confidence. And of course, a huge thank you to Minnesota Aspirations and Russell for giving me the opportunity of not only 1, but 2 summer internships. Once again, congratulations to all the new interns and to all the award winners. And I hope to see you again next year with even bigger and better accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Studi and Amy, for your involvement in the Minnesota Aspirations in Computing Award ceremony and your continued collaboration throughout the year. Sadly, the light is about to go dim on tonight's ceremony. But before this occurs, we want to speak to Russell Frankel with the Minnesota State IT Center of Excellence, who will be providing closing remarks. And if you don't know Russell, you should. He's an amazing human being who just exudes positivity and always is willing to light the wick on your candle so that you can shine bright. Thank you for everything that you do, Russell, and welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much, Shauna. That's really kind. I appreciate your generous introduction. And you know, life is so humbling when you, especially when you forget to provide the password for people to get into our webinar. And so I thank you all. You know, it was interesting because I had full technology. It was full on technology. I had text messages coming. I had my phone. I had emails. It was, it's good I'm not on social media all that much because I'm sure we got blasted there. So anyway, we all made it. I thank you so much. I really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight as well. Yes, I'm Russell Frankel. I'm with the IT Center of Excellence, which is part of the Minnesota State Colleges and University System. Great colleges to go to, young ladies and others in the room. So please give some consideration to that. We'd love to have you enrolled in one of our colleges or universities. The IT Center is in the business of partnering with schools, businesses, and organizations to ensure IT talent hits the mark. I'm fortunate to work with many passionate partners who are interested to inspire, educate, and empower secondary education students to become our next best Minnesota-grown technologists. One of the big ways we do this is through the national and statewide Aspirations in Computing program, which features an awards program for young women in high school. I'm delighted to inform you that 2 of my colleagues from the National Center for Women in Information Technology are in the house tonight to congratulate our honorees and to inform you about how the Minnesota Aspirations experience ties into the national experience. Please join me in welcoming Edie Cheng, Director of the nationwide Aspirations in Computing Awards program. Come on down, Edie.
Thank you so much for that, Russell. And I'm so thrilled to be here tonight. In fact, this is one of those examples. I know we are living through unprecedented times, but in some ways, this barrier that is travel and distance has been removed, and I'm able to join you all, and it's my absolute pleasure to be here. I just want to echo some of the congratulations to all of the award recipients tonight. We are thrilled to have you as part of the Aspirations in Computing program. As Russell mentioned, I'm the director of the Aspirations in Computing program, which is run nationally by the National Center for Women in IT. And just to let you know, our organization is a nationally serving nonprofit. We mostly work with organizations, so universities, K-12 school systems, and companies to provide tools, resources, and encouragement for increasing participation of girls and women in computing. So that's where you all come in. We really, really want to encourage, support, goad, nag, and help you succeed in whatever your journey might be, whether it is becoming a computer scientist or becoming a program manager or working in one of the many fields that combine so beautifully with computing and technology. We've heard from a number of inspiring and amazing students tonight, from ERIN Mitchell, who has come such a long way and is an incredible inspiration, to Afia Ward, who sounds like she's off to a great future and was so poised and wise. Caitlin France, who could not be more compelling and moving and motivating. I feel like I'm forgetting one. And Stuti, thank you for your words about the internship and such wisdom. So I just highlight the students who've spoken tonight because I feel like they might seem to you like they're exceptional, and they are, but so are you. I feel like you can find elements and qualities in each of those students that spoke tonight that relate to where you are, whether you are just starting out and learning your first programming language, or whether you are someone who has had multiple internships already. The key here is finding others who are in this journey with you to help you and support you. And that's where Aspirations in Computing comes in. Again, it's been mentioned a number of times tonight, the importance of community and the value of participating in the Aspirations in Computing Facebook group. We say this every year. If you don't have a Facebook account and there's only one purpose that you want to use it for, it's worth creating a Facebook account so that you can be part of the Facebook group for Aspirations in Computing. Not to connect with me or with the NCWIT staff, but to connect with almost 20,000 other girls and women, including non-binary students, who are part of this community of aspiring technologists. With that, I just want to also highlight, beyond participating in this community network, the other things that Aspirations and NCWIT offers are ongoing opportunities that are distributed through email messages, and things like workshops. Tomorrow there's a workshop on practicing technical interview skills that's happening, that's exclusive to the Aspirations in Computing community. There are opportunities like Aspire IT, which is a program that lets you lead your own K-12 hands-on computing and learning program. Again, this is a network that is here because we want to make sure that there are more and more and more girls and women in technology. We feel that this, you can see that my background here, which is the NCWIT messaging, is about having your voice and participating and making yourself heard. If there's anything that we at NCWIT can do to help you in your journey, please reach out. We are here to cheer for you and support you every step of the way. I just want to throw out one more acknowledgement, which is that, yes, NCWIT and Aspirations is a national program, but this Minnesota group is so special and unique. And I think that you come from perhaps one of the most comprehensive and engaged group of Aspirations affiliates that I have ever worked with. And I can't say enough about how amazing and dedicated this group of volunteers is. So thank you to all of them. I do want to pass it on to my colleague, Kathy, who also works very closely with the volunteers from the Minnesota affiliate.
Thank you, Edie. I so appreciate your words, and I'm just here to say a quick congratulations. I want to thank the educators on the call today, the parents who are supporting your young ladies. With the parents and the educators, they wouldn't be here without your support and your love and your encouragement. And I also want to have a special shout out to our entire Minnesota team. I'm the regional affiliate manager for NCWIT for Minnesota. I worked with Russell for a couple of years now, and it continues to amaze me, the work that he does, the people that he brings on board to his team. Super amazing work. I'm just continually amazed by how well you put everything together from top to bottom and in between. We wanted to make sure that the Minnesota awardees all know that their trophies have been shipped If you haven't received them already, you will get them shortly. Your swag is on the way, so make sure you look for 2 special packages coming your way. And I want to say a final word to all the awardees, in keeping with the Light the World theme. You all are all-stars, working that MLB Minnesota Twins message in there too. Some may tell you that your light is too bright. Never ever turn down your light. Instead, tell them to put on their sunglasses. So Team Minnesota and awardees, this is for you. Congratulations.
Oh man, that's just incredible. Thank you. And thank you, Kathy and Edie, for your involvement tonight. And we love having you here with us. Thank you so much. I'm going to go to some slides now because I want you to be able to see a couple of things. So I'm going to just go to audio. This particular slide gives you a sense of, you know, at the national level, what kinds of companies are supporting this effort. And this is an amazing array of companies and organizations that are supporting this effort. And I think there's over, am I correct, over 1,200 organizations that are involved. Is that correct, Edie? That's totally, totally amazing. And so we're grateful for their support, because that support just rolls downhill, or uphill, I should say, to Minnesota. So anyway, the next slide sort of tells the story about Minnesota sponsorship. And we're just delighted that we have over 30 partners that support us financially and through in-kind contributions of services, etc. And we're grateful to these many sponsors. So thank you so much to our great Minnesota sponsors. I want to also pull up the next slide, because this is the virtual team. You know, when we went into this, I was completely lost, you know, to be honest. We've done some wonderful in-person events, and we knew we couldn't do those. We couldn't continue to do that this year. And this is the group that lit my fire, right? That lit my, you know, was my support. And I just want to thank every one of them personally for stepping forward and helping to make tonight happen. Despite our clumsy beginning, you know, we're getting to the finish line, and we're doing so in just excellent fashion. So this is the group that's responsible for that. And then lastly, I want to be able to point out that we have this incredible volunteer base. These are all kinds of people who have served as committee members, many of them since the inception of the Minnesota chapter back in 2012 and 2013, when ERIN Mitchell was gracing our stage as I believe a junior in high school. And so that's quite the commitment to have people stick with you and continue to support this effort. They obviously believe in the program, and they believe in the honorees. All right, so I'm going to come back live. Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you a couple things before we depart, because people are tired. It's time to move on. But I just want to make sure you know about a couple things. You've already heard about the Rising Star and Certificate of Distinction events in June. So beyond tonight's honorees, we have an additional 90 honorees at different levels of honor that will participate in virtual learning and celebration events in late June. And we're grateful to Optum, we're grateful to General Mills, and Anita Board, the Minneapolis chapter, for leading these efforts. Now, you might think that this is kind of it, that we do these recognition things, and yes, this is kind of a capstone thing that we have, but I want you to know that tonight is a culminating celebration for some of the hundreds of young women throughout the state who participate in a variety of year-round experiences our partners and the IT Center offer, like Power Up IT, Sparks, Technovation, High Tech Kids / robotics, BDPA, Best Buy Teen Tech Center, and many other IT skill development programs. We know it takes multiple points of contact with students to help them get to the IT education and career finish line, to head off to college revved up and ready for a STEM career future. And lastly, we need your support. We need your continued support. It takes a village of volunteers and financial sponsors for a year-round program to go. If you aren't already involved, we encourage you to jump on board. Okay, now, a couple of housekeeping things, and then you get to go. First of all, we want our honorees to stick around. You're going to be promoted to a panelist view here while everyone else is sort of falling away. We're going to get a photo of you all in one space. And ideally, if you have your candles, now's the time to pull them out and light them, okay? Because we are going to light up this space together. In your inbox, everybody, you've received a survey. It doesn't have a password to complete it. And so if you could do that, that would be wonderful. We appreciate you doing it yet tonight or tomorrow or what have you. Now, before we go, Shauna Hughes, my word, thank you so very much for being such an incredible MC. Everyone else has got a round of applause. But we want to give you a round of applause. We also want to give a round of applause to Marcos, who's our producer in the background. I don't know if he'll pop his head up at this stage and let us see who he is. He's working from his warehouse space, and if not, he'll just kind of push the chat. There he is. Thank you, Marcos. So let's give it up for these wonderful people. All right, that is the end. Thank you so much for coming. And once again, our honorees, stick around. We need about maybe 4 or 5 minutes of your time yet. Thank you so very much, everyone.
So are non-honorees good to leave?
Yes.
Okay.
Devin, have a great night.
My face hurts from smiling. I just sat there and smiled.
Oh my gosh, thank you all. This has just been incredible.
Hey, Russell.
Yes, we all
should
get
I
to
stay?
depart. Marcos will do his job.
Amazing work, Team Minnesota. Congratulations, everyone.
So good.
All right. Super.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned.
Russell, am I good to leave too? I don't know if you want me as the lone college student.
Yes, stick around.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much, Russ. Talk to you later.
You bet. Take care.
Thank you, Ross. Yeah.
Thank you, Russell.
Yes, thank you, Studi. You were wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thanks, Russell. We'll talk to you later.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Do you want me to stick around, Russell, or are you going with a
John,
student?
you're welcome to join the group. You're an honoree.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my background. I had to switch to my phone and then my laptop, and apparently I can't do backgrounds with my laptop.
Hey, you're good.
I have the North Shore here for you to look at.
Yeah,
So
Russell, I
what
was
we're
very
hoping is
thankful for your
that
candle.
if you are currently not with us in video form, that you can at least have an image. There we go. Hello, Anita. Good to have you. And we got Brianne. We got Amy. Super. Audrey. Go Annandale.
For any of you who are in the chat now and want more information about some of the collegiate programs, as you guys, especially you seniors, are moving on, feel free to chat me. I'd love to talk more about it.
Nice. Great to see the votives for those of you that have them. Wonderful.
Are you on audio too?
Okay, I've unmuted folks here. As long as we don't get feedback, we can have you unmuted here.
Yeah, I'm getting the list going.
We're filling up the screen. That's the idea. Hey, Marcos,
Yeah, hey.
is it possible to move the program to the center?
I don't know. I don't think so. Right?
Okay, we're good.
I think it's like a list thing.
Yep.
Please.
Who are we missing here, Russ?
Well, let's see. Let me go to my list here.
Some of the names don't fully match.
All right, I'm going to do a little roll call and let me know. Let's see, Salma.
What's Salma's last name?
Abusamra.
Okay.
Abusamrah. Anusri.
So some of them just have like first names, so it's hard to know who's who.
Yeah. Well, first names are fine. You mean in their email address or?
Because it's all by the attendee list. So.
All right. Well, I think at this stage, everybody that was supposed to come, how many are still hanging out? If you say their name, I can. Okay, here we go.
Okay, Meg.
Looking down the list. Okay.
Did you promote some too also, Russell?
Yeah, how do I do that, by the way?
So if you go to the attendees and then click on the more drop down, it'll give you promote to panelist.
All right. So I'm looking at everybody that's on here essentially. I'm just seeing the list of people who are promoted at this stage. I'm not seeing any that shouldn't be in the space.
So if you go, are you in the attendees list or the panelist?
Well, let me get into the attendee list. There we go. Got it. Thanks.
Yep.
Don't do the audio.
Yeah, I did. Why not? Yeah. All of the other codes all expired.
Yeah, what I don't know is if somebody is using maybe a parent's.
Yeah, I only
Here's
have a
one.
legal code.
Let's see, is Audrey on? Audrey Douglas?
Yeah, right here.
You can unmute yourself.
I think I saw her.
Okay. Oh, there's Audrey. Super. Wow, this is a pretty full crew. Now we can get, Marcos, are we thinking we'll take a couple panel shots, or do you want to try to get them all into one panel as well?
I think we're gonna have to do a couple panel shots, only because on my screen, I can only load 30
Yeah, I got it.
or 25, sorry.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off video.
Oh, you should stay in.
Oh, no, no. You can demote me because this is their picture. And Ari, we can demote both of us, free up a couple panel slots there. But I think you've got, if I continue to look at attendees here, I think.
I'm taking screenshots as well. So I don't
Yeah.
know if I'll be able to have access to do that.
And Russ, with you being the host, I can't demote you.
Oh, so I gotta be in it. All right. Well, then I better hang. Super.
Who's Vlad?
All right. So I think what we want to do is on the count of 1, 2, 3. I
Hold
think
on.
we'll have you hold your votive if you have it available.
Russ?
Hang it. Yes.
1 second. There are some cameras that are off.
Okay, let's see what we got. And that, I'm not sure if they all have cameras is the issue.
Okay.
There comes Mary.
Whoever is Vlad.
Mary, can Sarah join you? Mary, can Sarah, your sister, join you? South High Mary. Where is she? Oh, there she is. She's got her own. We're good to go there. Let's see. VALADAFLEWELLYN. Are you able to show your picture? I can't recall what email that belongs to.
I don't have it on my list here.
I'm gonna
All
go
right,
find that person.
Maybe
we should unpromote that then because we're not getting a visual anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. Really, really good. All right. So are we ready, folks? Get your votives handy. Lovely. All right. So we're going to say, let's say 1, 2, 3, IT. Hold them up. Let's see that big smile. 1, 2, 3. IT. All right. Thank you for that. And then
one more.
Does everyone else need to get their votive yet? If you have it handy, sweet. Just don't burn your house down, okay? Lovely, so cool. Thank you so much. We've got a bunch of screenshots, correct?
One more.
All right, cool.
I'm good, thank you.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Thank you.
Hey, you've been great. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. You are wonderful. Keep it up.
Thank you, Russell, for everything. See you next year, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We made it.
I know.
Woo!
There's still a student on. Student, you can drop off. Or can you drop her?
Yeah, I'm doing that. We're good.
All right. Congrats, guys.
I tell you what, man, it was a bumpy start, but it was a great ending. Great finish.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's next, Marcos? You've got the video recording. I know we've got that.
Yeah, it'll have a little bit of like the front end of us talking, and then
Yeah, which is unfortunate until people. I saw that people are in chat saying, "I think you need to mute Russell." Right?
Oh,
right.
Yeah. I mean, but I can trim
Yeah,
either side.
that'd be great.
This is gonna go to our editor. So
Oh, cool.
what is the plan around that? Are we not doing that anymore, Russ?
Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. I didn't know how much of that was going to need to go on. I didn't know to what degree. Marcos, we didn't really talk about that, Marcos, that you were planning to do that as part of your deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's either way. If you guys have an editor, that's not a problem, if you work with him and he, you trust him. Otherwise, I have video editing capabilities, so I could trim the front and end off, and whatever, if there's anything extra that you guys are looking to add, or if you're just looking for the presentation as a file, we can do whatever with that.
Okay.
Well, let's do this. Ari and I will talk offline.
Yeah.
Marcos, and then we'll let you know how we'd like to proceed. Sound good?
Yeah, no worries.
All I know is you were fabulous.
Yeah.
All the cut-ins, all the everything. Totally amazing.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, Marcos, too, because we got a couple other events that are coming up that I have to next get online with those people and talk a little bit about what do they want their event to be. They were in attendance tonight, so they could kind of see what this looked like. And then, of course, the unique part about what they're doing is they have a bit of a learning experience that's really probably more designed to a meeting room type approach.
Okay. And this is the 20th and 27th?
Right. Of June.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
so,
we can adjust it. Yeah, I mean, talk with them and see what they're they're looking for as a presentation, and then we can determine what type of Zoom interface would work best for that.
Right.
And then yeah, we'll just get to working it all out for them.
That's so cool. That's great. Ari, thanks for your background work so much. So appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Ari, for getting everything organized and over here.
I'll say.
You are welcome.
All right, everybody. Take care, and we'll be in contact. I think we all need to put our feet up, maybe have a
drink,
a beverage, an adult beverage. I'd recommend it,
yeah.
Unless you're, not
right.
so inclined. Then just have a beverage, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, have a good night, Russell.
Yeah,
See
you
you, Ari.
bet.